Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your buddy Chewie here. Cheers. Um, it's been a couple days. I apologize. I've been busy. Like you, I have been working at home, um, sheltering at home. Um, I remember I started out episode one of this, and I said I really wasn't going to talk COVID. But this is the reality, right? It's here. It's gaining steam as of today. United States has more cases than any country in the world. So we are winning, and that's a game that we don't necessarily want to win. Um, so I implore you to stay at home, to do your social distancing if you're going to be out. Limit those trips and those kind of things. So you've heard it all 100 times before. We're in my Indians gear today. Um, Today should have been opening day. As you know, there's no baseball, right? I'm hoping that we're going to get some sort of a baseball season. Uh, but because I'll be honest with you, watching some of the stuff that's on ESPN these days is tough to watch. The stone skipping World Championships was pretty interesting, I'll admit. But I want to see baseball. I want to see hockey. I want to see basketball. Um, I have a feeling we're we're just at the tail or at the beginning of this thing. In Ohio, they're now estimating that we're gonna hit the peak somewhere mid to late April at between 6 and 8 thousand new cases a day in Ohio, which is fucking terrifying. Um, I don't care how healthy I feel. I don't care how healthy my kids feel. My wife feels. That's fucking terrifying. So stay safe. Um, if only whiskey would knock the shit out, it'd be fine, right? Let's see. Like I said, today was supposed to be opening day. That has been a long-standing tradition of mine. I go every year to the opening day game, to the home opener. Most of the time in Cleveland, this time of year, it's shitty. I can't tell you how many opening day games I've sat through in the snow or the rain or the freezing rain or both. Of course, today it was beautiful, right? It was in the mid 50s, high 50s, low 60s. Would have been an awesome day for baseball, but of course, that didn't happen this year. Um, let's see, my middle son's birthday was yesterday. He's 12. Um, I got shit canned. I got hammered, and it just was not a good situation. Went out about 5 o'clock. All the neighbors were out in the cul-de-sac, keeping their social distance, 6 feet apart. And I hadn't eaten since breakfast, and I started drinking, and I drank some more, and we were chatting, and I drank. See, I have a problem. I drink kind of at one speed, um, and it doesn't really matter what I'm drinking. I drink at that same speed, right? So if I'm drinking like Miller Lite, no problem. If I'm drinking, you know, Corona or something a little bit heavier, there's some more issues. When I drink bourbon, which is what I was drinking last night, there are issues. Um, and so my wife wasn't thrilled with me, um, but we made it through the day. We made it through the night, and I'm back at it again. Not having a ton, but I don't know about you. Are you guys drinking more since you've been at home? I've only been out of the house since we've been home. Since I've been not working, I've only been out of the house a handful of times, 3 or 4 times, 4 or 5 maybe. I've gone to City Hall once. I went to a council meeting. I've been to the grocery store a couple times. I've been in the liquor store twice. So I don't know. I don't know what that says, but I guess I was prepping. Keep telling myself that I need to lose weight. I know I need to lose weight. So maybe I don't know. I haven't been drinking a ton of beer, which I think is good. I haven't been obviously eating any fast food, um, but I probably still could lose a good God. I probably could lose 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, which that hurts to say. But that's the reality, right? And Father Time is undefeated. The ironic thing was, I had just found a gym that I was going to before all this, before the world went to hell, and I was loving it. Right, I was going 3 or 4 times a week, and I was working with these group classes where there was between 4 and 8 people in every group. Um, it was all body weight type stuff, so it wasn't a lot of clanging weights, but it was all body weight stuff, and I was loving it. And of course, now the gyms are closed, and you're not allowed to go. Um, so that's kind of put a damper on my workouts. But I'm actually going to start tomorrow morning. I'm going to start with my kids. We're going to do DDP yoga, so or at least my 2 older boys. So we'll get in and hopefully get flexible again, and hopefully that'll kind of kickstart us down the road. I don't know about you, but carbs to me is my killer. Um, but it's not candy, right? It's chips, it's popcorn, and that kind of stuff. We had Chipotle last night. My son wanted that for his birthday, and of course that's tortillas and rice, and it's just glorious. And when you put a gallon of whiskey on top of it, it's just not a good situation. Um, let's see. I'm having a hard time figuring out or remembering what day it is. Um, everything's kind of bleeding together when you're not going to work, and when you're working from home, everything's kind of bleeding together. Tonight's Thursday night as I record this. So tomorrow's Friday. I've got a relatively busy day. Um, as with everybody that's working from home, I would imagine I'm on conference calls all day. I'm on video calls all day. So it's just a weird way of working. Um, yeah, it's a weird way of working. And again, I have a feeling that this is just the beginning, right? If the peak in Ohio is going to hit in mid to late April, um, that figures what we're not going to go back to normal. Uh, Late May, June, July. I don't know. Um, I know President Trump has said that he wants us to what's the quote? He wants to have the country roaring again by Easter. That's not going to fucking happen. It's just not. I think that would be really dangerous to have everybody go back to work so soon without a cure, without a vaccine. Um, so yeah, that's kind of scary. I had somebody in the comments ask me. I'm sorry that I'm rambling here. I had somebody in the comments ask me my favorite drink. What my favorite drink was. I like beer. I like Miller Lite. Believe it or not, I love Miller Lite. I know a lot of people think it's just kind of piss water, but I enjoy it. It's good. So we always build the pyramids out of the WrestleMania pyramids. Which little update, Matt Pip. So he's not coming to town, but we are going to watch WrestleMania, and we're going to get on a video conference call, and so we're going to be able to watch the show together, and build pyramids. Presumably there'll be one in Ohio and one in Indiana as well. So that'd be kind of cool. I would still much rather have him here, but we'll do what we can do. So, anyways, yeah, I like beer, but my drink of choice is whiskey. Um, really always has been. I like tonight. It's Jack Daniels. I'm a Jack guy. Um, I like sour mash. I like a lot of bourbons. Not a huge Scotch guy. Um, they Scotch to me is a little bit too. They're all very smoky, right? And the best way I can describe it is they kind of taste like the inside of a dresser drawer smells. It's the best way I can describe it, which is kind of gross. But I'll drink it, but it's definitely not my favorite. Um, but again, whiskey, um, big fan. So so yeah, that was one of the questions that a commenter had asked was what's my favorite drink, and it's definitely whiskey. Um, so let's see. I guess I've rambled on here for about 10 minutes or so. Again, apologies that it's taking me a couple days. I'm having a hard time, right? I'm having a hard time adjusting to the new norm. I'm having a hard time kind of wrapping my head around everything that's going on. I'm having a hard time staying at home. I'm having a hard time trying to explain to my children why they can't be out and playing, why they can't be. That's not fair. They are out and playing, but they're not. They're not going into friends' homes. There's no baseball practice. There's no basketball practice. There's no games. There's none of this stuff, right? Um, they're not going to go back to school this year. I don't think. Um, and for a seventh grader and a sixth grader and a kindergartner, um, that's not the end of the world. But for if you've got a senior, that sucks, man. And I feel really bad for those folks, right? The Olympics was canceled, right, or was postponed. And so, I love the Olympics. I absolutely love the Olympics, and to have to wait another year is going to suck. They're going to do them in 2021, but I can't even imagine those athletes that have trained their entire lives and to be ready for that Olympic trial, and they're not going to be able to do it, which is just that sucks. So it's kind of one more casualty from the COVID thing. So um, one thing though, let's see, let me pull it up here, um, and I'm going to read this because this really is what's kind of keeping me going. Um, and I'm to the point in my life where I can't. If I didn't have memes and gifs, I would have a hard time communicating. Um, but I ran across this one the other day, and it really kind of struck me. And this is the one that's kind of keeping me going, right? It says, I know this, when this ends, and it will, every game will sell out, every restaurant will have a 2 hour wait, every kid will be glad to be in school, everyone will love their job, the stock market will skyrocket, every other house will get TP'd, and we'll all embrace and shake hands. That's going to be a pretty good day. Hang in there, world. Um, and so again, that's kind of what's keeping me going, and I hope things are well with you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.